Hello, friends and lovers of learning. This is Michaela with Heartscapes and the regional coordinator for Shakti Feminine University, which is the community education hub of the organization Shakti Rising, supporting women and girls to thrive in mind, body, soul, and heart. And so much of our ability to thrive is connected to our ability to continue to learn and an orientation towards curiosity and possibility. Throughout our work in both Shakti and Heartscapes, we support your ability to thrive by helping you to cultivate a relationship with your inner ongoing learner. That's the part of us that is connected to curiosity, the part that loves to learn and is willing to take risks. At times it can feel really easy to connect to that part of ourselves. But at other times, it can feel like it's being hidden or smothered behind fear or getting stuck in our routines or our ego or just plain exhaustion. And at those times, it can benefit us to actively engage our ongoing learner through creative and even playful, imaginative ways. So I want to share with you one of my primary practices, or my primary practice for connecting with my own ongoing learner and many, many other parts of myself, and a really simple way for you to use this practice to do the same. So it's a practice called SoulCollage, and it draws on our intuition, our imagination, and found images to literally create an image, a vision of these different parts of ourselves, and so that they can become visible to us and we can dialogue with them, we can learn from them, we can have them tell us what they want to tell us, and we can draw them forward when we want to draw them forward, or have them relax when they're maybe a little bit too active in our lives. So you start by taking just a few moments to ground yourself in whatever way that works for you. Just taking a few breaths, just coming back home to your inside a little bit. And then actively calling on this part of yourself, your ongoing learner, to come forward. And that can be as simple as setting an intention to be curious, or it can be literally saying to yourself, I call forward my ongoing learner. Whatever works for you, whatever feels authentic. And then you can either stop right there if you feel connected, or you can spend a little bit more time in meditation with this part of yourself, whatever feels good to you. And then when you feel ready to move on, you go to a source of found images like a magazine or a book, other sources of imagery that you haven't created yourself. And you just flip through that source, doing the best you can to set your conscious, thinking, rational mind aside, letting it take a rest, and bringing your intuitive self forward as you pull any image that jumps out at you for any reason. And once you have a collection of these images, look through them and ask, which one of these represents my ongoing learner or my curious self, however you're understanding that to be. If one stands out to you, you can separate that out to work with. If you don't find any that really feel like it's connected with that part of yourself, you can either keep looking, or there might be one that's actually really calling for your attention, and it's saying, actually, today I'm the part of you that wants to be given a voice. And then you might spend some time with that image instead and come back to your ongoing learner next. But assuming that you find your picture for your ongoing learner, when I sat down to do this practice for my ongoing learner, I settled on this small child deeply engrossed in a book. So you cut that image out. It's a character of some sort, usually a person or an animal, some sort of entity that has a personality to it. You cut it out, and then you go back to the found images and you find it a new home. You find a new background for that image, and simply put the two pieces of paper together. It can be as simple as that. So in this case, this little boy with his book ended up sitting in front of this time-lapse picture of a carnival ride. And it can be as simple as that, a character put into a new background to create a new image. Or you can bring in other images if you like. So in this case, this little butterfly wanted to come in here also. And when you feel like your card has come together and you're putting these images on a card that's fairly small, there's cards sold specifically for this purpose that are 5 inches by 8 inches, which is basically half of an 8 by 10 mat board. You can also just cut an 8 by 10 mat board or use cardboard or whatever you like. Point being that it's a small format so that it can represent just this one part and it can be easy for you to handle. So once you bring your card together, you feel like it's complete. You take a few moments with it, just look at what came forward, because oftentimes we make, when we're in the creative process, we're not necessarily paying really close attention to what's coming forward. So just taking a moment to look at it. And then when you feel ready, you're going to let this card introduce itself to you and tell you what it wants you to know today about your ongoing learner. And by that, I mean that this one part of yourself is speaking to the whole of yourself, and you're having a little dialogue. And so rather than talking about the card, you're going to let the card speak to you. And there's a little phrase that can help with that, that is used kind of as a ritual inside of the practice of SoulCollage, which is called I am one who. So you would look at your card, in this case, my ongoing learner, and you would say, when you feel ready, I am one who is deeply engrossed in my learning. I am one who knows that what I take into my mind, what I learn, what I take on, what I'm curious about, will become the world that I live in. I am one who wants to learn and live from a world that is vibrant and exciting and full of life. And I am one who believes in transformation. So once it has given you a little bit of information about itself, now you can form a relationship with it. So with the cards that you make, your ongoing learner, any other part of yourself you wish to make an image of, you can ask them questions like, why am I feeling so sluggish today? Or what is it that I'm so afraid of in this new project? I'm feeling like I really can't, bring my curiosity into this project, and I'm curious about that. What can you tell me about what's going on inside of me? Or what should I be paying attention to today in order to stir my curiosity? What kind of risk am I being asked to take in my life these days? And you just let that part of yourself speak. You can also let that part of yourself speak with other parts of yourself that have a relationship with it. So for example, this is a card representing my curiosity. So my curiosity and my ongoing learner, they're friends. They have a relationship, and they often can tell me quite a bit when they come together to answer questions that I have about what's going on for myself and in my world. So if this process seems intriguing to you, interesting to you, give it a try. It can be super fun. It can feel difficult to do something creative, especially if we're not used to doing that. It's a really good opportunity to work with setting our inner critic aside. You might want to make a card for your inner critic, which I have done, so that you can have a talk with it and say, I'm going to be creative right now. I need you to just relax and not criticize me. Thank you. So give it a try. And if you have any questions about it, please feel free to reach out for me. I've been facilitating SoulCollage classes and trainings and workshops and coaching for about 7 years, and I just love it to pieces. So I would be very happy to talk with you about any aspect of it at any time. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful late winter day, and I hope that you can feel spring right around the corner. See you next time.